Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please state your full name for the record?
Sure. My name is Memling Altamontano.
And how are you employed?
I am a forensic scientist at the Jefferson County Regional Crime Lab.
How long have you been with the Jefferson County Regional Crime Lab?
Approximately 18 years.
And what is your educational background?
I have a bachelor's in biology.
And do you have any specific training in the area that has allowed you to have the job that you have now at the crime lab?
Yes, I do.
What is that training?
I've had external, internal training, as well as attended the Fulton course on alcohol and safety led by the lead scientist, and I maintain a license that requires continual training.
Could you describe to the jury what your specific job duties are at the crime lab?
To analyze evidence that's submitted by law enforcement agencies and to assist law enforcement agencies in processing crime scenes.
Back in 2023, May specifically of 2023, did you hold all of the licenses required to perform your job at the crime lab?
Yes,
Are you still licensed today?
I am.
We testified as an expert witness in this area before.
Yes,
That be on few or many occasions.
many.
Are you licensed as a blood alcohol toxicologist by the Texas Forensic Science Commission?
I am.
And is that the license that we just spoke about?
Yes,
Was the laboratory where you were working back in May of 2023 accredited at the time?
yes, it was.
And can you explain briefly what the accreditation process is?
Accreditation is basically when you have outside entities, organizations that come and evaluate your procedures and your processes and ensure that you're actually following them.
Runner, may I approach?
You may.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 5. Do you recognize that?
I do.
How do you recognize that?
So it has a unique lab number, an exhibit number, my initials. Additionally, it has the Jefferson County Regional Crime Lab seal and my initials on it.
And is that lab number, that unique lab number, is that pertaining to the case against Cody Hatch?
Yes,
And you have your initials on there and the seal. Is that seal placed on it after you perform the testing?
afterwards.
If you want to, you can open up that box. That should be open. And what is inside that box?
So you have two tubes.
And for the record, is that State's 5A and 5B?
Yes.
And how can you identify the fourth?
So with these blood tubes, I'll go ahead and put the lab number. I assign them a letter A and B and my initials.
And that's the same lab number that's on the box that relates to this specific case.
Yes,
And is that your standard practice to make sure that the evidence stays with the case that it's involved?
yes.
So why do you put an A and a B on these tubes?
Usually we have two tubes that come within the blood kit, and I tend to mark the one that I mark them so that I can differentiate which one is the one that I analyze.
Okay. And do you remember which tube you tested in this case?
Yes,
Which one was that?
8.
And is that the one in your hand?
Yes, this one.
What exhibit number is that referring to?
State Exhibit 5A.
And that's A that you mentioned that you marked for your own identification as well.
That's
United
right.
States 5A.
Yes.
Could you explain to the jury why you only test one of the tubes?
We leave the second tube for the defense to test if they wish.
And that's your standard protocol to only test one of them.
Yes.
What instrumentation do you use to test the contents of that tube?
We use something called Headspace GC-FID, which stands for gas chromatography with Flame Ionization Detectors. It's a mouthful. So basically, what happens is I'll take a sample, 2 samples actually from this blood vial. Those samples will be placed in another smaller glass vial that we call aliquot with an internal stander. If they get pressurized and heated, if the alcohol is there, it's going to rise to the top into a gas phase. The instrumentation will then come, take that gas phase and transfer it into another part of the instrument that looks like a box and with 2 coils in there. Think of it as an oven. So the sample will move through those two coils, separate into individual components, and then they will come up at the end where the flame ionization detectors are and produce a signal that gets translated on the computer.
And was that instrumentation working properly back in May of 2023?
Yes.
How do you know that that was working properly?
So before we analyzed anything, we actually performed calibration curve, a 6-point calibration curve. And additionally, prior to starting any type of casework, we performed quality control tests.
And could you explain to the jury what those quality control tests are?
Yes, so those are basically samples that we acquire from reputable sources, and we know the concentrations of those samples. And we run them prior to analysis, because then we can tell whether the calibration is working properly or if there's something going on that we'll be able to tell with the instrumentation.
And how often do you run those samples?
Every time we do casework.
So you're making sure consistently that the instrumentation is working properly before you're testing actual pieces of evidence.
That's correct.
And did you analyze the contents of State's Exhibit 5A that we're
Yes.
speaking about? Did you place it into the instrumentation after it was calibrated?
Yes,
Do you follow the protocol for testing the blood using that instrument?
I did.
And what were the results of that test that you performed on State's Exhibit 5A?
May I refer back to my notes?
Yes.
The results are 0.227 grams of ethanol per 100 mils.
Is that what we would commonly refer to as the blood alcohol concentration?
Yes,
And did you generate a report as part of your testing on State's Exhibit 5A?
I did.
Was it generated at or near the time that you performed this testing?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 6. Is that a copy of your report?
It is.
Has it been altered or changed in any way after you did it?
No,
And how do you know that this is your?
because I have an exact of the original copy.
And it has the case number in your signature. Correct. And that's the case number that pertains to this specific case that we're on.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to tender State's Exhibit to defense for inspection and ask that it be admitted into evidence.
You don't have any objection, Judge.
Admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
And is this a copy of the report that we were just speaking about?
Yes,
And it has your crime lab number as well as the case agency number from the department that you got it from, correct?
that's correct.
And this paragraph here is what you just referenced, and that is the blood alcohol concentration that you tested on State's Exhibit 5A.
Yes,
And that's 0.227 grams.
yes.
In your training and experience in the crime lab, do you have a definition of what it means to be intoxicated?
Legal limit of 0.08 and above.
And is this test above 0.08?
Yes.
In your training and experience, if you were to calculate the amount of drinks that someone of similar build would need to have to get to a 0.227, would you be able to generate an opinion on that?
Yes.
And how would you calculate that?
Based on the information that I have, it would be between 8 to 11 drinks.
And what information allows you to make that calculation?
So the height of the person, the age, and the weight.
And that's not specifically this person that we're referring to, just a generalized person around the similar build would have to have 8 to 11 drinks.
Actually, it is specifically to a person that's 6'5" and weighs around 210.
And that's the information they use to make that determination. In your opinion, was the person whose blood was drawn that you tested, were they intoxicated at the time of the blood draw?
Yes.
I don't have any questions, Judge.
May this lady be excused?
Yes, Judge.
You are excused, ma'am. Thank you. Next, please, from the state.
State of Texas rests.
I'm sorry, state rest, what says defense?
Judge, we would have a motion to make outside the presence of the jury, and then we intend to rest at the time, and we're ready or to proceed to charge conference, et cetera. So.
All right, let me see the lawyers up here.
Just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence is before you. The court and the attorneys just need to finalize some legal matters for the charge that the court will give to you, or which are the instructions for your deliberations. And that's going to take a little bit of time, and then we're into the lunch hour. So why don't we do this? Can all of you return back, please, at 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock, hopefully we'll be ready to move right into final arguments, and then you can begin your deliberations. That's our plan. Thank you very much. All right, everyone else remain seated while the jury exits first. Again, we'll see you back at 1 o'clock p.m. Thank you.